But in 1860s America, it looked very different. The country was on the brink of civil war. President Lincoln was newly inaugurated, and the California Gold Rush, 11 years prior, had sent almost 500,000 people out west in search of gold. It could take almost 4 months for mail to get from the east coast to the west, either down through the Panama Canal by boat or on the overland stage route, which could take almost as long. So there's clearly a pressing need for faster communication throughout the country, and in April of 1860, the Pony Express was born. Alexander Majors, William Russell, and William Waddell created the first ever horseback mail relay service, which stretched from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California, a distance of about 1,800 miles. They had relay stations every 10 to 15 miles, which was the distance that a horse can gallop from at full speed, the longest. And a rider would go from station to station on his horse, and at each station he would get a new horse and keep going with the mail. Every 75 to 100 miles he reached a home station, which was generally bigger. It was near a town, and he would be relieved by another rider who would take the mail and go on. They used specially designed mail bags called mochillas, which had four cantinas, like pockets, in each corner. Three of them were kept locked, and they contained the mail. But the fourth one had a time card in it, which the station keeper marked with the time that the rider got in. So, obviously, another crucial part to the success of the Pony Express was the horses. It generally had Mustangs, Morgans, Pintos, and Thoroughbreds because of their speed and their stamina. The horses were extremely reliable, and the American West is really unpredictable. Crossing the Rocky Mountains, sandstorms, blizzards, thunderstorms, anything could come up at almost any moment, and the riders often got lost, but the horses could be relied upon to take them to the next station safely. There was another danger on the trails. It was Native Americans. So the trail went through largely unsettled country, where the Indians kind of were still in control, and the isolated Pony Express stations were a major target for attack, since there were many times not really towns around. It was just the station keeper, maybe an assistant. That was pretty much all. So the station keepers, actually, more station keepers died than riders on the trail, because the riders, again, had their horses, which could generally outrun the Indian ponies. So, despite the renown of the Pony Express, it was super popular in California and Missouri, all the places for the renown of its brave young riders. They were generally 14 to 18, and there was actually a 125-pound weight limit, which really made them very skinny and wiry. But despite that, it only lasted for about 18 months because it was just too expensive for the common person, and it was soon contested by another major communication advance. It was the telegraph line. So not long after the Pony Express was established, Congress passed a bill telling the Secretary of Treasury to finance a telegraph line from the Missouri River all the way to the Pacific coast. The line was completed on October 26, 1861, and a couple days later, the last rider arrived with the mail, which ended the Pony Express for good. So, despite its brevity, the Pony Express ended up delivering almost 35,000 letters and made 308 Sacramento or St. Joseph every other day. So just in the 18 short months it operated, it did some major work and really changed the face of the American West, and it was and